Real fans, realtalk.com. Where Arthur Diamonds, Trip Young, and intern Tom. For the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro, Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. Real fans, realtalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest. I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell them Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. Real fans, realtalk.com. I'm out one. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another live episode of Real Fans, Real Talk. Of course, I'm the one and only Trip Young. And we got a lot of surprises in store for you during this episode, including our first ever Real Fans, Real Talk official rank card girl who will be helping us out with Shot for Shot today. So stick around because that's gonna be great. But of course, I gotta introduce my co-host because it wouldn't be right if I didn't. To my left, I got the man that got all the numbers, all the stats, Mark the Stat Man Skevich.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of Real Fans, Real Talk. Of course, our other co-host joining us again this week, the one and only Sean Fontaine.
Good day, all. You know, I had a real good weekend. Both of my teams won, the Seminoles and the Cowboys. So I'm real high, high in spirits. How you guys doing?
Well, my spirits are a little bit down because even though we have the round round ring girl coming later on. What happened in Shot for Shot last week, I lost to Sean in his debut. And for those of you that don't know, in Shot for Shot, what we do, there's 5 questions being asked, 1 judge, and the winner, the loser actually has to wear team apparel from a team that they hate. I beat Trip Young a few weeks back. Sean beat me last week. And we didn't wear the Red Sox hat. I never look forward to doing it. Trip Young, it's got to be done, though. Rules are rules.
I got to take off this beautiful blue Yankee hat and put on this
disgusting.
That's a double whammy right there.
Yeah, the fact that
two Yankee fans having to wear Red Sox hats on today's show, it's definitely
it's only fair, though, and it's only till Shot for Shot. And we got the rain card girl today, so that's gonna make up for this just a little bit. But the fact that you guys are looking at myself and the Stat Man wearing these Red Sox hats, something is definitely wrong in the atmosphere. I don't know, man. It's because the karma is something, because it just doesn't make no sense what's going on, ladies and gentlemen.
We do have to, for those that tune in during the middle of the show, we do have to constantly remind them that these bees are because of the loss in Shot for Shot, because we do air live in the Bronx. I know there's a lot of Yankee fans that might change the channel. And look at what are these guys wearing Red Sox hats for? But the B stands for Brooklyn and the Bronx, though. Yeah. Me and Trip Young established that already.
That's how we looking at it from now on. But we do got a lot of sports to get into. So we're gonna start. Unfortunately, it sucks this week again. We're starting off the show on a somber note. We lost another great, another boxer, Corie Sanders, who was tragically gunned down this past weekend. It sucks, he was at a celebration for his younger cousin's 21st birthday, and some robbers came in. They attempted to rob him, and he wound up getting shot in the hand and in the stomach. So we want to send our most heartfelt condolences out to the family, to the friends, to the fans, everyone that was affected by his life. For those of you who may not remember Corie Sanders, he beat upset Vladimir Klitschko, who's the heavyweight champion of the world, in 2003. He fought Hashim Rahman and a lot of other boxing greats. So we're just gonna take a quick moment of silence for Corie Sanders before we jump into today's show.
All Once again, shout out to Corie Sanders and family. Great career, former heavyweight champion, like Trip Young mentioned, with beating Vladimir Klitschko to win the WBO heavyweight championship. He finished his career with at a record of 42-4 with 31 knockouts. It's a great career, and it's a shame that that the robbery happened. But moving on to other sports news, there's a little debacle that happened last night in Monday Night Football that everyone's talking about. Russell Wilson, congratulations to Russell Wilson for throwing the first ever game-winning interception in football history. It was ruled a touchdown. It definitely wasn't, though. It was an interception. The replacement refs are making a debacle of the sport right now, and it's extremely embarrassing for as a fan, as a player. Everybody involved in football, it's a shame with these replacement refs and letting the game go down the way it did. Trip Young, well, I don't even know what to say as far as this Monday night game. It's crazy.
It's a laugher. I was laughing at it. It kind of sucks, for the Packers and all the cheeseheads. But you know what? Listen.
At least it wasn't the Giants, because I don't even know how to be able to do the show if that happened to the Giants. I'd still be heartbroken right now.
So we definitely, they got to get it together. This is just more of a reason why Goodell needs to stop playing and get the real refs back. I know we had a shot-for-shot question last, I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago about the replacement refs, and they actually, they weren't doing that bad. But it seems that as the weeks continue, they are just getting worse and worse. We saw a lot of calls this weekend that were very controversial, and then of course, that interception, touchdown, whatever you want to call it, which ended the the Packers Seahawks game, leaving the Packers with a bitter taste in their mouths. They didn't even want to come back out onto the field for the extra point because they were so disgusted by what happened. And it just sucks. It really does. It sucks that Roger Goodell, you got to get it together, man. Get the real refs back. The bookies. Somebody might have went down this weekend behind that, because $150 to $250 million, was lost this weekend because of that touchdown, and it's just crazy. They got to get it together.
And because of the touchdown, these plays could be reviewed. That's why it's so hard. Like, they reviewed the play and they still made it a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers didn't even know what to say after the game. All the Packers players were furious, and the way the Seahawks celebrated as if it was a legitimate win was a shame too, because it obviously wasn't a legitimate win. It's a lot of other crazy things going on in the past 3 weeks in sports. And if I would have told you, Trip Young, that the Saints would be 0-3 right now, amongst many other things that are happening in the football the past couple of weeks, it's just a shocker. The Vikings beating the 49ers this past week. A lot of crazy things happening besides the replacement refs screwing up everything and stinking up the NFL. But a lot of crazy games going on. Sean, what's your thoughts on the NFL as a whole right now with the past couple of weeks?
Well, these lingerie league and Division III refs are really stinking it up right now. I know we said in past weeks that, we can't put it solely on the referees, but at this point, it's the refs' fault, And
I lost the shot-for-shot question last week, actually, and I said it was poor. And Trip Young gave Sean the point for saying average. Hold on, and this hat is burning me right now. You don't understand.
That was prior to.
Up until this point, their performance was mediocre. Now it's like, come on.
Yeah, that was prior to this week, and you know what it is? I really, it's the added pressure as each week goes on. There's more and more pressure on these referees to get it right. You got the fans getting at them, the coaches, the players. I mean, at that Ravens Patriots game, the entire stadium is chanting "ball bleep." You can't say that word on TV, ladies and gentlemen. This is live, and this is BronxNet. But, when you got a whole stadium screaming at you like that, not to mention the players on the field, the coaches on the field, on both teams, it's a lot of pressure. And they're not used to the amount of people that's surrounding them at the same. They're not used to reffing in the NFL. I think that they're doing an okay job, but it's just a lot of pressure very fast being placed on them. Football is a very, very fast game. When you're watching on television, it's a very fast game. So, on the field, it's even faster. And it's
But when you watch the replays in slow motion and get it wrong, there's no excuses at that point.
Well,
okay, I understand them not calling a pass interference, not calling. I mean, I don't understand it, but at the same time, I kind of understand. But when you look at the replay and you look at it in slow motion,
you can't understand. You can't understand. It was obvious. It was obvious. It was obvious.
When they do the booth reviews the plays. This is out beyond the refs. The booth is reviewing these plays and agreeing with the refs. So it's not solely on the refs because they took that last play up to the booth and the booth agreed with the refs on this. So now. You
know what? Coming at the players when your coach tells you don't leave it till leave the game so close that it has to come down to an actual decision like this. So it was also on the Packers as well. They messed up a lot also. So they made a lot of mistakes that made the game close also. But
let's go through that last play. There's an illegal formation to start. That's not called. Okay. Then there's a blatant offensive pass interference. I mean, 2 hands and boom! Okay, he went 5 yards. How does the ref miss that? And then it's an interception. I was the first to say on the Real Fans Real Talk group page that if the by rule, both hands, if a receiver and a defensive back have it, by rule it goes to the receiver. But it was clear in the replay that he didn't really have any type of possession whatsoever. So he had no rights to that ball, and it was a clear interception. So
I feel bad for the Saints next week.
Yeah, I mean,
the Packers are going to try to take it out on them. I'm sorry.
They definitely are. They're playing at home as well.
0-4 is coming soon.
Yeah, the Saints aren't doing too well. Drew Brees. What was that chant they used to do? 1, 2, you better get some more of those in. Get the team re-energized, remotivated, whatever you got to do.
Boston watches.
Get your son from the commercial and have him kick some field goals or something for the team because it's not working in New Orleans, and it's only going to get worse if they don't improve right now. I don't see them beating the Packers, like you said, especially, after this, so that which means they could possibly be starting the season 0-4. And I did give them a chance just because they're in the NFC South. And them, along with the Falcons, made it last season. So if they can get back on track, but the deeper the hole gets, the harder it's going to be for them to get out of it, and it just sucks. We gotta I want to get to the Sunday night football game as well because we had the Ravens. Shout out to the Ravens, my team, Uncle Ray Ray, and the Patriots go at it, and they actually the Ravens won on another. Late game decision. It was a field goal. I might be a little biased in me saying that it was good, but I'm not alone in me saying that it's good. So, what did you guys think?
I thought the field goal was good too, but it's something that they can't review apparently. Apparently, the rules are that. If it was wide or not, but since it was above it, it's not in the replay, and it goes by the call, which actually brings us to our fan mail question. Samuel from Staten Island writes, should the NFL add instant replay for field goals? So to answer your question, Sam, they already kind of have an instant replay for field goals. It's just, like I said, when it's above when it's above or not the upright, it's not reviewable. So one of those things that aren't reviewable. Yes, I believe that they should change that though, but even looking at the replay, it's such a close call that they wouldn't have overturned it if they looked at it on a replay either way. So, but Belichick grabs the ref afterwards, which is a big no-no. So we're wondering what's the story with that.
This is my thing with that. Belichick and the Patriots are the quote-unquote golden boys of the league, and it seems that when they do things, it's magically forgiven.
Swept on the rug.
Yeah, it never happened. Spygate doesn't exist. It's just a figment of our imagination. So, I don't know what they're going to do. I do know that if it was a player, the player, they would have been suspended as well as fined. So, we got to wait and see what the league is going to do with that. they're also looking at Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator for the Redskins, who chased the referee down going into the tunnel after the Redskins game this weekend. So these refs are at the center of a lot.
They're getting real frustrated with the referees because they just aren't making these calls.
No, and rightfully so. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
And it's going to be a lot of replacement calls just because they didn't make the right calls, and then in turn it's just going to mess up. So even if they make an agreement this week, we have another week of replacement refs.
But here's my thing. You're getting mad at the wrong people. Okay,
the players, like I said.
These referees, if it wasn't for the replacement refs, we would not even be sitting here talking about football. We would be talking about it, but we would be talking about it because there's no football. So, you gotta give those guys a break. Who you should be upset with is Roger Goodell for not getting this thing done. And we're now in 3 weeks, and like I said, things have been getting worse every week. So, they gotta get it together. Roger Goodell, you have got to get it together.
If it was soccer and like in Europe, the refs would get beat up. So at least we're a little bit civilized here in America with our refs. We're not beating them down. We're chasing after them, but we're not beating them down. We might grab them on the shoulder, but we're not throwing them beatings. At least not yet. At least not yet.
I want Paul Tagliabue back, man. Hey. Come out of retirement, man. I want him back. I know he's an old guy, but
I can't guarantee they'll make it out of New York if that goes down at the Giants game.
Sheesh.
Well, they're actually going to be in Philly this Sunday against the Giants, so that's even worse.
That's a win.
If anybody's going to beat up the refs, it's Philly. Philly fans are the worst as far as
they boo their own team.
They threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
You better do a good job this game because it's definitely going to be going down if you don't. Oh man, a lot of good football this weekend. The Jets. And we got some big injuries, actually. I'm so sorry to all you Jets fans. And because Darrelle Revis, the best cornerback in the league, maybe even the best position player in the league, is done for the season with a torn ACL. He made the last 4 Pro Bowls. He's an animal. The completion percentage from when he's on the field, it goes from about 54% when he's on the field to 74% of passes that are completed when he's off the field. The Jets, fortunately, they're 2-1. I don't see them getting more than 4 wins now this season. Now that Darrelle Revis is out, it sucks. Maybe they can put Tim Tebow in at cornerback since they think he can do no wrong and all he does is win, no matter what. What you guys think, man?
Well, I'm sorry, Jets fans, but all the bridges to Revis Island is closed. They're going to have to go the rest of the season without him. Torn ACL. And Trip Young is taking my job and giving you the stats over there as far as the difference of when he's on and off the field. And that says it for itself as far as how drastically that's going to affect the Jets this season. What's your take on it, Sean?
So as we have it, we have LaRon Landry has a hurt heel. You have Antonio Cromartie with a shoulder injury, and then Revis is out. You said 4 wins. I was thinking to myself maybe 6, but I think I might go with the 4 because I just don't see it happening.
There's no secondary
at all.
Yeah, that's done. And basically now the amount of pressure that was just placed on Mark Sanchez and Tim Tebow is going to be so unbearable, and it sucks. I know all the Patriots fans, since they're 1-2 right now, are sitting back, putting up their feet and smiling because they should be a lock for another year winning that division. It sucks.
See, unlike the real team in New York, the Giants can get a bunch of injuries and still end up having a winning season and winning the Super Bowl. The Jets, I don't think they could really do that, especially with Dirty Sanchez as quarterback. They don't have elite Eli. They don't have elite Eli on their squad, so they can't get it done. I don't think Sanchez is going to be able to hold down the fort. Which leads me to the next question. Tim Tebow stays in the news forever, obviously. He only got a few plays and I believe 3 plays this past weekend. But if the Jets do start to lose, do you think Tebow will start at any point in the season?
I think it will happen eventually. They proved me right. They started failing sooner than later. So at some point, it's going to happen. I give him 2 more games, if that. And Sanchez, Tebow.
Well, I mean, right now they're 2-1. So I mean, how many games would they have to lose before?
2-1. Okay, so that leaves what, about 3 games? But your whole secondary is gone now at this point. You have nobody to back you up. So that's what Tebow had when he was in Denver. He had a defense to back up his offense. So you don't have this defense to back up your offense. What can you do now?
Yeah. Oh man, it's over. It's over. I can't. There's no more that needs to be said. It's over for the Jets. Listen. The Giants are still here. They're alive and kicking. Don't worry. New York will be taken care of, okay? We do have some other injuries to a couple of key players. Matthew Stafford went down. I'm going to start calling him Mr. Fragile now. He's has an
Mr. Glass?
Yeah, Mr. Glass. He's got an upper leg injury. Man, my fantasy beast, CJ Spiller, he's going to be out for about a week. I'm hoping he's only out for a week because he's been killing and leading me to these crazy blowout wins in the Fantasy Football League. We're going to talk about that a little later because I actually went up against the Stat Man this week, and it did not look good for the Stat Man, but we'll get back to that. And we got Patrick Willis, who also went down this week. They are all expected to play next week, though, with the exception of C.J. Spiller, who will be out for another week. But we will keep you guys posted. If you guys check us on the web, realfansrealtalk.com, or in our group on Facebook, facebook.com/realfansrealtalk. We will keep you up to date with what's going on with those injuries, who's coming back, who's not gonna be there playing this week, so that you guys can get your fantasy rosters together. We had a couple of big fantasy point go-getters this weekend, and that was Jamal Charles from the Kansas City Chiefs, who ran all over the Saints, 233 yards on.
They were playing at rookie level.
Yeah, they was playing rookie level on Madden, and my boy Maurice Jones-Drew ran for 177 yards. So it was a good look. Maurice Jones-Drew, along with a couple of other key players, were the reason why I beat the Stat Man this week by over 100 points in the Real Fans Real Talk fantasy.
Well, the real reason that he beat me is because at the time of the draft, I was stuck in traffic and I was forced to have an auto draft. So I basically forfeit this season of fantasy football in the Real Fans Real Talk League. It's really not fair that I had to go with the auto draft. So it's a little bit different.
You still had a really good team. But it's just that, my guys are clicking right now. The last 2 weeks, I've had blowouts, and I've had the highest point totals.
Who do you have
in the league?
Who do you have, first of all? Let the people know that.
Okay, this is what I have. And if you want to, model yourself after a good team, then you just hit Trip Young up. You can hit me up on my fan mail or on Facebook. I'm dealing with these are my quarterbacks. So actually, I got Eli Manning and I got Matthew Stafford. All right, and then I got Matt Schaub, just the backup to the backup of the backup. Boom. Then I got Ray Rice, I got Maurice Jones-Drew, I got C.J. Spiller, I got Michael Turner. So my running backs are pretty set. I got Torrey Smith, who, shout out to Torrey Smith, actually, who lost his brother this past weekend in a tragic motorcycle accident and still showed a tremendous display of heart in that Ravens game. 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards receiving. So shout out to Torrey Smith for that. The team is good. I got the Giants defense, and you saw what they did to the Panthers. 3 interceptions.
I was definitely loving that. We talked a lot more detail about the Giants game this past Thursday's game on the Real Fans Real Talk radio show, which airs every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our website, realfansrealtalk.com. We are live here in the Bronx at BronxNet. We're live every Tuesday from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check out all our previous archived episodes on the realfansrealtalk.com website. Go into RFRT Media, and on the drop-down menu, RFRT TV, it has all of our previous episodes on there, so definitely check that out. And if you do want to follow Trip Young or any of us on Twitter, or our individual email addresses and our Twitter addresses are on the realfansrealtalk.com website under the contact section of the page. So you could hit up Trip Young and ask for some fantasy football advice. But the only advice I got is make sure you're there for the draft and don't auto draft. But I got to wait till next year.
You sounded like you drafted everybody early.
Hey,
that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
I had the number 1 pick in this year's draft, so of course I took my main man Ray Rice first.
There you go.
So with that was a great pick in itself. I was able to steal Eli, and He's just been clicking. You know, he had that 500-yard game the last week. So, you know, things have been really rolling.
That was a practice game. That was practice.
Yeah, things have been good.
It seems like practice for Eli. He makes it look so easy, as if he's playing Madden on rookie, like they.
Right, and then you had Cam acting like Honey Boo Boo because he was crying after the game.
Man,
he was Honey Boo Boo child after the game.
Fix your skirt, Cam. All right, stop it. You're lost, man.
You can't have the nickname Killer Cam anymore after that crying show.
Take your whipping. Steve Smith had to sit you down and pop you on the hand because you acting like a little baby. You ain't even want to sit and watch the rest of the game. You want to go soak, put your towel over your head at the end of the game. Man up, all right? We don't got time for those games. That's not a winning quarterback behavior, all right? You got to take the good with the bad, brother.
It's the second year in the league.
We're going to be switching over to baseball, and I just want to explain to any of you that tuned in a little late what happened here with these Boston Red Sox hats is we do a thing called shot for shot, and the loser has to wear a Boston Red Sox hat. So yes, me and Trip Young are both Yankee fans. It's burning my head right now that I'm wearing this hat. I'm sure it's doing the same for him.
It is.
But we came to the conclusion that it stands for Brooklyn and the Bronx and not Boston. But we're getting into baseball action, and we are diehard Yankee fans. The Yankees are on top in the AL East, but the AL East race is pretty close. You got Baltimore breathing down their necks the past couple of months. They're only a game and a half behind the Yankees. And, of course, my biased opinion, it's a good opinion, too, because it usually does happen. The Yankees are going to win the division. It's kind of what they've been doing for quite some time now. I'd be shocked if they don't win it as well. But the AL East race is definitely tight right now. Trippion, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they have been going at it, both the Yankees and Baltimore. They both had a crazy extra inning games. You know, the other night, the Yankees won 7 straight. Baltimore won 6 straight. They were up by a game. Baltimore had a doubleheader yesterday where they wound up splitting it, which put the Yankees up by a game and a half. I got to say, shout out to Andy Pettit. He's back. He's looking good. He's won his first 2 starts since coming back from the injury. And I just think the Yankees, as they get healthier, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with because they're heating up at the right time. Fontaine,
I'm a Yankees fan. I don't have any close friends that play for the Yankees, of course. Stephen A. Smith. But I expect the Yankees, they're definitely going to kick in, you know, in the playoffs and do what they have to do. It has been rough towards the end of the season. But playoffs are coming. October is here, and the Yankees, it's their time. It's their time to shine, and it's time to go. And I expect them to win it all.
Exactly. And we are live right here in Bronx Set Studios in the Bronx. So we do rep for the Yankees and the borough as well, and the city of New York as a whole. Because, you know, this is the Yankees' hometown. Yankee Stadium is not too far from where we're recording, you know. So shout out to the Yankees. Keep it up. CC, get healthy, get that arm strength the way it should be. Because, you know, the Yankees are coming this year, man. They hot.
I want another parade. I'm sorry. Personally,
exactly. You know,
we're gonna burn those hats.
Yeah,
I can't wait to take this hat off.
Burn those hats.
Burning these hats right here. That myself and the stat man are wearing, we will officially be burning these hats at the Yankee Ticker Tape Parade this year. So be there because we will have that footage for you on the show the following Tuesday after, you know, the parade. So you got to tune in for that because that's going to be amazing. We have a potential Triple Crown winner on our hands if he can keep it up. I know, you know, Miguel Cabrera. He just dropped down to second in the home runs in the American League. Josh Hamilton, who caught a home run last night, he has 43, and Miguel Cabrera has 42. But as far as he's still in first place with his batting average at 331 and RBIs at 133. So if he can get that home run back, we could possibly be looking at a Triple Crown winner in the American League, which ironically we may also be able to have one in the National League as well. It'll be a little bit harder for Ryan Braun to do it, but he does have a commanding home run lead, and he is ahead in RBIs, but he's got to get that batting average up to about 332 in order for him to get it. So it'd be a little bit harder for him to do that. What do you guys think about a Triple Crown winner? Because we haven't had one before we were born, before all of us were born.
Yeah, that would definitely be great to see, but, you know. It's,
I mean, if it happens, it happens.
I mean, I'd like to see it from but a Yankee. But that's big for baseball. Triple Crown winner. I think it would be amazing for the sport of baseball as a whole to have a Triple Crown winner.
And once again, Trip Young taking the stat man's job and bringing me all those stats again for the second time tonight.
So let me throw that.
So switching over to the National League, though, we have 2 division clinchers and 1 clinching a playoff berth. Washington is 5 games ahead of Atlanta. They didn't technically clinch yet, but they're well ahead. So the only thing going on in the National League is who's going to take those 2 wild card spots. Cincinnati and San Francisco clinched their divisions, and like I said, Washington is 5 games ahead of Atlanta. I'm still thinking that I initially thought that it was going to be Atlanta and the Dodgers taking the wild card, but the Dodgers are kind of falling off a little further, so it looks like it's going to be Atlanta and St. Louis over there in the National League. But while we're still on the topic of baseball, this Boston hat has been burning me long enough, and I think it's finally time for shot, ladies and gentlemen. So Trip Young, let me do the honors here for you and get rid of this thing.
Sweating a lot just wearing those hats.
Yeah, let me put a real team hat back on.
I wish I brought my Yankee hat because my head's still burning from wearing that Boston hat. It's killing me. But for those of you that don't know, once again, shot for shot, we have 1 referee, which will be me right now. I'll be the one judging. I'll ask a series of questions. And the person, as you can see, who loses the following week has to wear team apparel of a team that they hate. So with that being said,
you expect to lose.
Well, listen. All right, I don't intend on losing this shot for shot because I will not be putting that back on. Do we have our official ring card girl, our official Real Fans Real Talk ring card girl? Is she in the building right now? Because I know we getting ready to jump into this.
In the meantime, we do get a lot of our shot-for-shot questions from our fan mail, so we do appreciate the fan mail. It's fanmail@realfansrealtalk.com, and make sure you hit us up. Once again, our individual contact information is on the realfansrealtalk.com website. But we are ready for shot, ladies and gentlemen, and we do have our official ring card girl to announce round 1, but Trip Young and Sean, you ready to go?
Let's go.
You know what? Let's go. Listen, I'm ready because Fontaine, and I gotta say this again because Fontaine, he's not to be confused with Ricky Fontaine, Pretty Ricky, what they called him as. Oh my goodness,
ladies and gentlemen, round 1 of shot for shot.
Oh, I'm not mad at that at all.
Conversation changed.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. You know what?
Hold on, which question are we on now?
Yeah.
Can you remind me?
Excuse me, folks at home. All right. So,
all right.
Thank you.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to judge right now. I can't concentrate.
Right. Now, that's a ref that we need to have as a replacement ref.
She might have been in a lingerie league with them anyways.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into this.
First question, ladies and gentlemen. Can the Jets make the playoffs without Darrelle Revis, a.k.a. Revis Island? We touched on it a little bit, but official answers starting with you, Trip Young.
Yeah, I believe we both agreed 4 wins, which will definitely not be enough for the Jets to make the playoffs this year. So no, they will not.
Have an 8-game season. But that's not happening. That's not happening at all. I'm sorry.
They have a lockout year like in the NBA.
I think even with Revis being there, they still weren't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's hard enough with Revis. So as far as them making it without Revis, and Trip Young touched on how big of a factor he is to that defense. So definitely agree with you guys on that one. We could only count on one team in New York to make the playoffs, and that's the Giants. But I think it's about time for question number 2.
Round 2, you said?
Round 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Número 2.
Round 2. And there you go, the official Real Fans Real Talk ring card girl. Showing y'all what round it is. We're big boxing fans here at Real Fans Real Talk.
My new favorite segment of Real Fans Real Talk.
Yeah. So what we got for number 2, Stat Man?
All right. Should Bill Belichick... I can't read the question. Hold on a second. All right. Okay. Should Bill Belichick be fined for his contact with the ref after Sunday night's Ravens-Patriots game? Sean?
Well, the almighty Patriots coach. I'm a realist. I feel as though he should be fine. You know, I don't know if he's going to be really fine anything crazy, but you know, he did it out of confusion and not confusion, but he did it out of, you know, he was just he was fed up with the referee. So yeah, definitely feel like he should be fine.
Yeah,
Tribune?
I gotta agree with that. He should be fine. If they throw in a suspension, I wouldn't even be mad. You know, I know he said it.
I don't think that's happening,
it wasn't mad. Well, it is Bill Belichick. But I mean, even if you just look at his face, he had the mean mug going out as he was running to chase him down. You know, he got to be at least fine though. You know, for that. No matter what, if it was a good intent, bad intent, he just wanted to ask him a question. You still grabbed him. You know, so you gotta find him at least.
Yeah, Bill Belichick, this is not the WWE. You can't touch the referees. You will actually get fined. I'm not sure if he will because, like Sean was saying, it's the almighty Bill Belichick, but I definitely think he should be fined.
I think they heard him. He probably was just scared and just went past him. So that's probably why he ignored him, and he was like, yo, you're going to answer me.
All right, it's not the WWE here, but we do have a boxing theme, so let's get the ring card girl out to bring up the next round, please.
Yes, sir.
Round 3 of Shot for Shot, ladies and gentlemen. We're stuck at a tie right now, but let's see if we could break this tie with the next question. Don't want to interrupt everyone's viewing pleasure. We gotta take care of that first. So, all right.
Got a moment
Question
of silence.
number 3. Yes, a moment of silence for that one. No one's paying attention to my voice while she's walking by anyway. So,
go ahead.
all right.
Man.
Which 3-0 team has the best defense? Cardinals, Falcons, or the Texans?
You know what? I'm gonna say the Cardinals, and I gotta say the Cardinals because I just think, you know, Patrick Peterson and that secondary, they're clicking, they're fast, they're strong, and if you look at the teams that they're beating, offenses that they're stopping, you know, they contained Tom Brady last week. You know, they came back and they really dominated the Eagles this week. You know, the Falcons, I think, are the best offensive team. The Texans, I would say, are second best, but definitely the Cardinals, I think, have the best defense out of the 3.
I would definitely say that the Cardinals have the best defense out of the 3. And they have the best chance of maintaining, I think, the best record out of the 3 teams with the, you know, the highest defense or whatever. So I'm going with the Cardinals.
I actually think the Cardinals will finish worse out of the 3.
You think so?
But as far as the defense, it's a toss-up between them and the Texans. I think the Falcons will finish with a better record.
Well, I feel like defense wins games a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, it saves you a lot. You know, but if you can't put any numbers on the board, well,
it is a couple of big upsets that they had, shutting the Eagles down to only 6 points and then beating the Patriots last week.
But the Eagles are beat up right now, so it's like.
Yeah.
Well, we're still tied. We can't seem to. I guess great minds think alike over here.
I'm about to cover my notes.
You know what? I'm a realist. I don't know about you.
Cheat over there. You copied off his answers, Sean.
It's crazy.
Hey.
All right. So with that being said, let's. Which round is it? What are we on right now?
I think it's 4.
No, I need someone to remind me. So.
Yeah.
Round 4, ladies and gentlemen. Shot for shot. Still at a tie. The first episode with our ring girl over here, bringing us, reminding the stat man of the numbers and which round it is. So, another little moment of silence for your viewing pleasure, everyone.
First of many.
Sir, let's get it on.
All right. After 3 weeks, which rookie quarterback has the best performance?
Only because of this bailout win, I'm going with the Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks quarterback only because it's bailout. Because everybody lost. Well, everybody lost except for I can't think of his name right now. It slips my mind. Tell me his name.
RG3?
No, not RG3. Seahawks quarterback.
Tannehill?
No, Seahawks.
Oh, Russell Wilson.
Yes. That's why I said
he threw the first ever game-winning interception.
Exactly.
How could you forget his name?
Interception and touchdown at the same damn time. So, you know, with that being said, because everybody else lost,
he's in the record books for that.
There you go. That's what I'm running
That's
with.
definitely true. But all right, going over to Trip Young.
You know what? I'm actually gonna disagree with you on that one. I gotta give it to RG3 as far as if we're talking about individual performances. I think that he's playing the best football. He has the least amount of turnovers. And he actually, you know, has the Redskins looking decent, which we haven't seen from the Redskins in quite some time. They haven't had a quarterback, you know, doing what he's doing. Now the rest of the team,
that's if they block for him.
Yeah,
that's if they block.
is a problem. You know, as they lost the Rackpole for the season, and a couple of other guys. But as far as individual performance, I got to give it to RG3.
Well, my name is the Stat Man, and RG3 is doing better statistically, so I got to give the point to Trip Young on that one. Even though Russell Wilson is in the record books for that game-winning interception, RG3 is definitely doing better statistically. So,
as you like to say at the same damn time,
I'm all about the theatrics, okay? I'm all about the theatrics, you know.
All right. Speaking of theatrics, we got something interesting as the next round is announced.
I feel like we need some theme music.
Yeah, we should. She deserves her own theme song.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you a theme song for the next shot for shot.
Round 5, ladies and gentlemen. Sean, you got to step it up. I would like to go to overtime so we can see some more rounds.
Oh yeah, all right, okay. Okay.
Thank you.
If we go to overtime, we'll start with one again, I guess. But all right, so. Being that all of the National League division winners have clinched, would you say that the National League is more or less competitive than the American League?
That goes without saying, of course, yes. we have teams on the other side that's still competing for actual chances to go make the playoffs. I'm definitely saying yes.
Yeah, I mean, look what's going on. You got the Yankees in Baltimore going at it pretty much every night. You got the Tigers and the White Sox going at it pretty much, you know, every night. Oakland is still trying to hang on in there as well and come back and take that from Texas. So
I feel like the only person that actually had faith in the Nationals were the people in D.C. because I'm surprised that they even winning right now.
They had the whole Strasburg thing. They didn't expect them to be anywhere near the playoffs, so they had the whole 160 innings. So
there you go.
They turned.
I mean, if they knew they were going to make the playoffs, they would have started him a little later on in the season, and that would have made some sense.
Even they didn't believe.
Hey.
But
with that being said, the winner this week, shot for shot, the one and only Trip Young. Which I'm thankful for, so that I don't.
Hold on. Can we get the ring card girl back out here? Let me introduce the ring card girl to the world, ladies and gentlemen. This is the lovely Rebekah Miller. She's our ring card girl, and I got it because you were my inspiration this week, honey. So could you please come back and join us more often, because I think with you by my side, I could really go on a streak of wins here that would be comparable to the Dolphins when they had that the undefeated 16-0 season with you by my side. So we're gonna need you, and thank you again. Could you just one more time for the people at home? Could you just?
Well, you are the winner. Do you get a hug or something?
Do I get a hug? Excuse me. Hugs. All right.
Hugs.
Thank you so much.
One for the ref too.
Hey. You didn't get any questions right.
Stop hating. I'm the reason why you won.
He's doing a few good reps right now. Okay.
He is a good rep. I gotta shake your hand on that. Thank you.
At least you don't have to wear that Red Sox hat next week, so I'm happy for that.
I'm 1-1, so I'm cool with that.
I think that we might have to bring something from the Giants in here next week for Mr. Fontaine, because since you did take a loss this week, I think something from the Giants would suit you well.
And I'll make sure I wear a Stay Strapped shirt for Plexico. All right.
Oh my goodness, we definitely got to move on though. We got another segment that we like to call This Day in Sports History. A lot of things go on these Tuesdays that we're on the air. This is the 25th of September. Sean, you want to lead us off with that?
All right. In 1962, Sonny Liston KO'd Floyd Patterson in the first round of the heavyweight title.
Big things. In 1965, my main man, Satchel Paige, becomes the oldest person to play in a Major League Baseball game at 59 years old, maybe 60. You know how the records was. You know, we had that Danny Almonte situation a couple years back, and that was even before that. You know how the ages go. But he was brought in by the last place Kansas City Athletics, and they basically did it so that he could attract the fans. He came in though, and he definitely played ball. He shut out the Red Sox, which I love, for 3 innings and striking out 1, and he allowed 1 hit to Carl Yastrzemski. So he was also the first Negro League Negro player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame. So shout out to Satchel Paige.
I think Roger Clemens is going for that oldest man to pitch record.
you know what's so funny is like when I see this, I feel like I played the wrong sport growing up, because these people they like 80 years old playing baseball, like know.
I mean,
and Clemens was brought in for the same reason, to bring up people in the stands, because that game sold out for
my future kids of America. You will be playing baseball.
Plus, they have pitch runners in baseball, so all you gotta do is set your walker to the side, and you get behind the mound. And the batter's box, and you just swing.
Brett Favre picked the wrong sport, I guess.
Yeah,
he should have been a pitcher.
Brett Favre would have been playing until he was 100 if he was playing baseball.
Exactly.
So,
but our last little segment in this day in sports history, in 1994, Oliver McCall TKOs Lennox Lewis in the second for the heavyweight boxing title. So 94, the last time the New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup, and I was thinking it was going to be this year, but we got a lockout going on. And I'm not too excited about that, because the Rangers got Nash, which was the best player on Columbus. They were finished the first in the East last year, and they obviously have a great chance of winning the Cup this year. But I don't even want to talk about the lockout anymore, because it's driving me nuts. Looking forward to the Rangers since '94. People, come on, giving me a break. Stop playing some hockey again.
I'm looking forward to I want to go to a hockey game. I haven't been to a game yet, man. I think if I see Justin Tuck there, I might have some words for him, because.
We might need to get you a Justin Tuck jersey. You keep it up for a team. But definitely shout out to these guys, Sonny Liston, Oliver McCall, 2 great champions, and Satchel Paige, one of the greatest to do it. And I gotta say this, because a lot of great African American baseball players were not in the record books, because they weren't allowed to play in major league sports. And when you have hitters like Josh Gibson, who could have probably beat any home run record that the major leagues had. Now, not to take anything away from the Babe Ruths, and all of that, but there were a lot of great pitchers, much like Satchel Paige. You had Jackie Robinson.
There's a movie coming out. There's a movie coming out next year. Also, I saw a trailer for that. So shout out to Ricky Branch for taking a chance too.
Yeah,
definitely.
So definitely got a shout. But shout out to all of these guys. We did have an MMA fight that went on this past weekend. My main man, Bones Jones, John Bones Jones.
You gotta go.
He beat up on Vitor Belfort, who it was actually the fight, which was kind of crazy, because he almost
saying
went
I
down.
could beat you up with one arm tied behind my back. He kind of did the next best thing. It wasn't tied behind his back, but he beat him with one arm.
It was locked in the arm, but I don't know. Did he pull his arm out the socket to get out of the move and then pop it back in? He was definitely in the arm bar, that would have made anybody else tap out. He held on. He even said during the match, he felt the pop, but he worked too hard to give up, and he wound up going the distance. And how do they say it on Love and Hip Hop? He put them paws on him.
I'm gonna put them paws.
He put them paws on.
I'm gonna put them paws.
Yeah, he put them paws on him. He put a couple of feet on him too, and he was able to retain his title. This is his 4th title defense, and he has been wreaking havoc in the MMA. Not only has he beaten Belfort, his last couple of victories include Rashad Evans, Lyoto Machado, and Quentin Rampage Jackson, also known as B.A. Baracus.
I pity the fool.
From the 18 movie.
Which is what we're going as in Halloween, right?
Yeah,
where you're going as Mr. T and I'm
you look
going
like
as Murdoch or something.
So we
like Cleveland from Family Guy doing that.
So there's definitely a good look for Bones Jones. Shout out to him. I know they're talking about him fighting Sonnen next. They're trying to work that out, but we will keep you guys posted if you guys follow us. on Facebook, facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk, or log on to the website realfansrealtalk.com, and you can get all the latest updates and what's going on in the world of sports. We really go in depth with the news that we give you guys on the website. And while you're there, check out our blogs, because we're blogging about pretty much everything that's going on around the world of sports. A lot of great reads in there, so definitely check that out. And again, we are live right here on BronxNet Channel 68 on Cablevision and Channel 34 on Verizon every Tuesday. And we're live on the radio at realfansrealtalk.com. You can listen in. We're on at 7:30 p.m. during football season, because we like to give you guys that break in between. We come in between the afternoon and the night game, so definitely log in for that, because we are all over the place doing this thing, and we're bringing you the sports like nobody else does it, like the Real Fans. That's what it is, Real Fans Real Talk.
And all our archived episodes are on the realfansrealtalk.com website. And if you want to hit us up individually on Twitter, or individual Twitter and email addresses are on the realfansrealtalk.com website under the contact section of the page. We do appreciate the fan mail questions, and the fan mail address is fanmail@realfansrealtalk.com. We're getting into our second fan mail question of the day. Gary from Hempstead writes, can the Saints turn their season around and make the playoffs? Well, we were mentioning earlier that the Packers are going to look for revenge, and they got the Packers going next week, so they're probably going to start the season 0-4, which is mind-boggling to think that the Saints would start the season 0-4. But I think that's going to happen. It's going to be pretty hard to catch up after starting off 0-4.
In the great words of Pootie Tang, I got to say that they know that's not going to happen, brother. The Saints are not going to win.
What I tell,
the Saints are not going to win.
I got to put my head down like this again and shake my head, and it sucks because I really do think that the Saints can come back, but I didn't realize that they had the Packers on the schedule next week, and I definitely didn't know that what we saw last night was going to go down, which is really going to fuel the Packers, for the rest of the season. The fact that they lost this game the way that they lost this game, I'm sorry, I don't see the Saints making it.
The Niners and the Packers, I think they both had reality checks these last few weeks or whatever, and I think for the next half, the rest of the season, beware.
I didn't see the Niners losing more than two games, but I definitely didn't expect them to lose this past week.
To the Vikings.
Yeah,
beware. That's all I have to say. Beware.
But getting back to the Saints, I don't think it's going to happen either. The Falcons started off 3-0. The wild card is going to be really tough between all the divisions and all the talent out there in the NFC. So it looks like we won't be seeing Drew Brees in the playoffs this year. But switching over to basketball for a second, my team, the Knicks, they love their players old, I guess.
The new AARP crew.
Yes.
Wheelchairs and walkers, that's what we're going to call them.
It's rumored that they're looking at Rasheed Wallace. They already signed Jason Kidd and Marcus Camby, who are at the latter part of their careers, and it looks like they're going after Rasheed Wallace. What do you think?
They're going for the retirement fund. With these guys, Rasheed Wallace, who
well, they have connections with the AARP.
Yeah,
so Robert Parrish is next.
They get a discount.
Robert Parrish is next.
They're coming for the Chief next. I gotta say this because Rasheed Wallace is actually one of my favorite players. When he was in Portland and in Detroit, he is a 4-time All-Star World Champion with the Pistons. But I mean, at 38 years old, yes, he was a Tar Heel. But at 38 years old, I don't understand it. You already brought in Mark Camby, who's already up there in years, and has those back problems. Now you want to go after Rasheed Wallace. We were just talking about bringing in T-Mac with two bad knees. If you combine T-Mac and Marcus Camby, you get Patrick Ewing. With all of the injuries that Patrick Ewing had, which is. I don't know.
Aren't they going for Patrick Ewing though? They could come back as well.
They won't bring Patrick Ewing back. They would. They said he had to coach the D League before he could get back onto the court. So that's not gonna happen. And it sucks because
I love my Knicks too. I'm sorry, but it's just too funny how they're going after all these old players.
I did think they made some good moves in the offseason, bringing in Ronnie Brewer, a defensive specialist.
Getting back Raymond Felton,
getting back Felton.
Jason Kidd, even though I'm making fun of him for being old, I thought that was a great pickup.
He's still one of the best floor generals.
Yeah, and him mentoring the other
Grant Hill's
guards
coming
out
next.
there.
Yeah.
Grant Hill's coming in. They might as well go for Penny and try to get shoe sales.
Yeah, that's true. Because the Penny, that was
well,
my.
They had them before.
There you go.
Junior high school, first day of school, I had the Penny. So as long as
the AIs too,
I know some people ain't trying. Starberry.
As long as they don't bring back the Patrick Ewing sneakers, and I'm very adamant about this, ladies and gentlemen. I said this before on the show. If you want to know the world's ugliest sneaker of all time, it's actually a toss up.
Those Al Harrington shoes are pretty bad
The Patrick
too.
Ewings, the Al Harringtons, and the Masterpiece sneakers. One out of those three. But those are definitely the top three. My vote is for the Patrick Ewings.
You guys can Google that after the show and take a look at how horrible those are.
Hit us up on Facebook and let us know, what you guys think is the ugliest sneaker out of those three.
We'll put that as the next poll question on the Real Fans Real Talk Facebook page.
Exactly.
That's facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh man,
But Marbury had some comments. Since you mentioned Marbury before, Marbury had some comments about how Amari and Carmelo Anthony aren't going to be able to click. What's your thoughts on that, Sean?
Who is he to even say anything when he couldn't
Somebody that
click
hates
for
the
himself?
Knicks because he was
benched. He won like a championship in China.
You got a ring. You got a ring, though. You got a ring.
Yeah, you saw him cry like Honey Boo Boo too, didn't you?
Listen, when the man eats Vaseline, okay, he eats
crying on the internet eating
Vaseline. Okay, so obviously it's something, there's a few olives short of a martini.
You need Jesus.
So yeah, he definitely.
You can talk to Tebow about that.
Yeah, he need to do some Tebow in or something like that. I don't know, but you know what, the Knicks I really just think they need more time to gel because they've been together for a good season now. But I think they have some key pieces that they brought back this year, which will make the team a little bit better. I like their depth. They have some defense that will be coming off the bench. I think that if Shumpert is able to come back and continue to grow, he's gonna develop into an all-star.
Come back halfway through the season.
Yeah, very soon. But I think this year will be the telling year for the Knicks as to whether or not the Amari Melo experiment work out, and if not, at the end of the season, if they don't make the playoffs, or if they if they get bumped out early, then we can sit back down and do this.
Yeah, well, they had the shortened season last year, and Melo came in halfway through the season prior to that.
Exactly.
A lot of injuries back and forth between Melo and Stoudemire, so there wasn't really that much time with them both on the court at the same time as far as the amount of games. So it's we'll see what happens with the Knicks this year. I'm hoping for something good. I'm thinking there's a lot of positive notes out there with the guys they picked up and Amari working with Hakeem. But we're going to get into the final thoughts segment of our show. And we'll start with you, Sean.
I'm a man of very few words. I really don't have any thoughts. I'm looking forward to seeing these referees next week. Hopefully you don't mess it up.
You should be thinking about that Giants paraphernalia.
You know, it doesn't really bother me because I actually win. So it doesn't bother. So if it was a team like the Boston Red Sox that haven't been winning, it would bother me more, but they don't.
But we got Statman. What you got?
My final thought is thank you to the ring girl. I think Trip Young vouches for that one as well.
Let's bring the ring car girl back out again. Shout out to Rebekah Miller for joining us today. She's our official Real Fans Real Talk ring car girl. And for myself, Trip Young, Sean Fontaine, and Mark the Statman Skevich, this is Real Fans Real Talk. And we are officially out of here. We will see you next week, same time, 5:30, live. Just like we always are, ladies and gentlemen.
Real Fans, Real Talk, Real Fans, Real Talk, Real Fans, Real Talk.com, Real Fans, Real Talk.com.